Hi guys, Jake and MJ, back again for more live reactions to Power Rangers Beast Morphers.
Sunglasses started to leave before I even tried to throw them.
Throw them away. There we go.
We're back!
Hey, we made it. We actually made it happen this time.
Sorry about the deal with yesterday. I did my best, but that router was so dead.
Yeah.
But we have a new router now.
We do. I was just making sure all the social media's got updated. There we go. Hello, everybody.
Because I'm a shorty and I want to sit on my foot.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, we did have to delay our live reactions this week by a night because we had a power outage on Friday night. When we woke up on Saturday, the internet was non-functional. We spent a good chunk of Saturday trying to diagnose the problem, and eventually determined that it was our 14-year-old router had finally kind of bitten the dust. So we now have a new router. Everything seems to be functioning well with that.
It's a 5G router, not 5G like the 5G.
5 gigabyte or whatever.
Yeah, that's
gigabits.
But it's the
Giga something.
5 gigahertz. Because the old one was a 2.4 gigahertz. So
right.
hopefully, maybe y'all are getting a smoother stream now than before.
Hopefully.
I don't know. We'll find out. Yes, Oliver, you can come up. You can come up.
Yeah, come on up.
Come on up and join us. You can do it.
So we did have that delay this week. We're also looking at next week doing Sunday as well. I have a potential conflict for Saturday, so I thought I might try and bypass that for doing for Sunday by having next week's stream be Sunday instead, and then the following week we'll be back to our usual schedule of Saturdays. So tonight we're so glad you were able to join us.
That's exactly
for
what
Sunday.
I said, not that 5G array.
Next week we hope that you will be able to join us for Sunday again, and then we'll go back to our Saturdays and hopefully round out the season that way. Barring any other conflicts or issues. Yeah, a router lasting 14 years. Pretty impressive. It was a good, solid router.
I bought a Linksys.
Yeah.
It was a good router when I invested in my router 14 years ago, before we even moved in together. I've had this router since I first moved out on my own after university.
Yeah, for reference, we have been together for 14 and a half years.
Yes. Well, we started dating before I left college, and
Yes.
I got the router when I left college.
But yeah, you've had that.
I've had the router for
almost
maybe 9 months less than our relationship.
Yeah, that thing was a good trooper.
It was. But I think it was trying to do a firmware update when we had the power outage at 9 o'clock the night before. And the thing, from everything I read online, basically, it says, under no circumstances should you ever unplug the router during a firmware update because you'll brick it.
And apparently that was what happened.
Since what it was basically kept saying was, please give me the file to install firmware. I have no firmware.
Sweet.
And it's a 14-year-old router, so when I went to the old website for the router, they didn't have any firmware for me.
So there...
Oh yes, let's not forget the 3 things, Jake.
Oh yes, the 3 things.
The chat has reminded us.
Thank you for the reminder.
We actually did Devious last week, so thank
we did,
you
and
for
then
the reminder.
until right after the episode. But yeah, let's do
our 3 things. Before we forget.
Again, these are 3 statements that should be considered equally non-controversial. First up, say it with me, chat. Black Lives Matter. Next up, fascism is bad. And last one, superheroes are fun.
You are getting your mileage out of that protest sign.
I am. I gotta get more mileage out of that. I just, I need to get some work done on my car, and then I'll
then you can go to protest again.
Out.
Yeah, because I've been taking my car to work, because I still have to work outside the home, except I'm finally on the work from home rotation, so this week I get to work from home.
Yeah. So good job to everyone in the chat joining in. I love each week we get more people joining in on this, and then we'll do our
you guys join in.
We'll do our closing 3
at the end.
Equally non-controversial statements.
And use hand sanitizer often.
Using the hand sanitizer often, wearing a mask, all good.
Aloe in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm a little neurotic over,
Yeah.
over everything.
You got pocket-sized ones that have
Um,
aloe in it, and it's real good stuff. I keep snagging his.
Yeah.
Oliver, where are you going?
No, he's just trying to say hi.
He's trying to go up on the table with the computer that we're streaming from.
So, a bit of news that I got on Friday is that New York schools will be opening up again. And now that is because our infection rate has dropped into an acceptable margin.
Yes.
It's
the same reason that we now have outdoor seating open back up at restaurants.
Yeah.
You still can't eat inside the restaurant, but if they have a patio,
the infection rate is under 5% right now.
Yes, R.I.P. Jake, because Jake is a teacher.
I am a teacher, as we have established before, of math and physics. Having now completed all of my requirements for both certifications and my master's, so that's all great. I still need to finish up the paperwork on my certifications, but all the testing and course requirements, etc., that's all done, so that'll give me a nice little boost in the fall. But yeah, I'm going to be doing sort of, we're going to be doing hybrid teaching.
Rose is here.
Hey, Rose.
Long time no see.
So it's going to be interesting to see that new environment. We'll be working on a hybrid schedule, so students will be swapping in and out every other day.
Yeah, so they're kind of doing what I'm doing, because I'm going to be working 1 week from home and 1 week in.
Yeah, you're doing half on, half off.
And they're doing half on, half off every other day.
The students will be, but I'll be there every day.
Right.
And then we will see if the...
Not yet, rotisserie. We're still doing the intro. You did miss the 3 statements.
The 3 statements. If the infection rate pops over 10%, we'll go back to virtual. We'll see what happens. You know, everything is sort of an experiment at this juncture in our history, in our culture, etc. So thank you again to everyone for joining us, and I think now that we have gotten our 3 statements out of the way, and
don't you dare go to sleep,
that my computer is already starting to fall asleep again, I think it's a good sign that it's time to kick off with episode 35 of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, Finders Keepers. Previously off. I do like that we're getting in the habit of more previously.
We won't go to any bar. We didn't go to bars before COVID. We're not bar people.
I'd never go to bars.
We're not bar people.
They were not appealing to me before they became, epidemic centers.
The closest thing I've ever, actually wanted to go to a bar was there are some pubs around here that have decent food that I'll go for the restaurant half. But that's it. Hey, Sid!
Rangers, give me a search update. Devin here. No sign of Rajek's ship.
Oliver Driver has been directing so much for the show.
Find it, period. The relics in Rajek's ship are too dangerous in the wrong hands.
Oh.
Maybe he has other Ranger relics.
Yeah. Oh, nice ship. Look at that ship.
Jake's teetotal anyway, pretty much. Jake doesn't like alcohol.
It's not great. Like every now and again, but that's about it.
Yeah, and when you do, it's always really sweet.
Incoming.
Like sweet liqueurs or wine or something.
I don't have time to look.
Like
Sit tight till we get there.
I really like that ship design.
I like it too, but Zoe shouldn't be going in alone. Oh,
Oops.
I broke the rules!
Self-destruct.
I broke the rules! Bad. Help.
Did you?
I said, cuss word.
Okay. Oh, I left the
Swear
swear jar over there.
I owe the swear jar. Yes, language
I'll grab
me,
it.
swear jar. I've been sworn in so long. Grab me one of the quarters too from underneath the TV.
Yes, Master.
Thanks. Alright, swear jar. Swear jar. I need to redo the art for this because we
Yeah.
switched from St. Jude's to Melody's Center. Still Children's Cancer,
Ooh.
but a smaller charity
Ooh.
that needs it more.
Yeah,
Yes, the
integra-
Scourger has been collecting more dust than quarters lately. That's why I forgot to bring it over.
The integration on the ship was a little spotty, but the design of the ship is great.
Nice sword.
Ooh,
Keep on the Dino Charge Rangers.
Snide's sword?
Let's reanalyze him.
Oh,
They're gonna
dear.
reanimize Snide?
How did you get Snide's sword? That was overly dramatic, please. But
Also,
okay.
it bent.
Just a little bit. I mean, swords will do that. They have structural
I
integrity.
know, but it made it so clear that was a latex weapon.
Interesting.
So, yeah, they're supposed to be close.
There's a simple explanation for that.
You
Thanks,
just-
Gosei.
Oh, okay, so you're just regenerated from the sword, but you don't get to keep the sword.
It's the intruder.
What? Keeper?
Keeper!
Keeper's here.
A compliance caller.
Are you going to compliance collar
the keeper? Well, she doesn't know who he is.
That. I feel like that's a sort of questionable. What? Really?
It's a frisbee?
Really? Really, Zoe? Wow,
Finders-
Zoe, you.
Finders keepers.
I feel like that's you kind of went past some ethics there pretty quick.
Must have triggered an alarm.
Really should have waited for this.
She's assuming he's an ally of.
Are you okay?
Of Ryjack.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Who's that?
That's the intruder the commander warned us about. I stuck him with the compliance caller.
Hey, Keeper.
Come here.
Wait. I think I recognize him. Me too, from Ranger History class.
Ranger history class.
Ranger history class.
Are you? Keeper?
That is correct. I came to retrieve the relics that Ryjack stole.
Keeper's on our side. Can you call her, Kay?
I didn't see his face. I thought he was trying to steal Ryjack's weapons.
I mean-
Back to the lab so I can remove the call.
Yeah.
I'll put him in the truck. You guys pick up any valuable weapons here.
Collar off now, thank you.
Also, I get the impression that the animatronics in Keeper's mask have died. Whoa!
Zed's staff.
That's
All this stuff.
and Goldar's sword.
Pretty nasty folk. We better get it all.
They've got a lot of
Villain weapons.
Sledge's weapon.
Thank you.
Oh no, who's driving it? A Vivek?
Can Vivix drive?
Not when
And
it
he's wearing a compliance collar.
just wow, go Power Rangers, go go. It's morphin' time. For justice we fight with Beast Morphin' might. Together we rise. Wow 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 wow. Go Power Rangers, go Power Rangers, Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Oh yes, finders
Putties
keepers.
can drive, so why shouldn't Vivix?
No, I can tell you exactly why Vivek shouldn't be able to drive. Because both his hands were out the window. That's a very good reason not to be able to drive.
Ready? Let's morph.
I'm concerned that the compliance collar may not actually be, attuned to whoever put it on. He
Yeah.
may just have to comply with everyone right now, and that's dangerous.
Careful, Kevin. I got it.
He's driving with his feet, says Shirai.
Ooh.
I mean, if Rick can do it,
Where'd those barrels come from?
don't ask questions.
If I'm correct,
That's,
Okay, yeah,
that's Sentai footage.
that is Sentai footage.
But it wasn't Keeper in the truck.
No, not in the Sentai footage. Well,
Oh.
all the Vivics are. This is definitely Sentai footage right now. Oh, looks like they reversed that footage to get the Vivek driving on the right side of the cab.
Movie footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go Buster.
Whoa,
versus
hello.
Ryuju.
Hello.
Guys, it's a dimensional portal.
Dimensional portal. Hello.
The Dino Charge Rangers!
Use
Nice.
your help. They have your keeper.
We lost contact after he found Ryjack's ship. Over there, in the truck. Okay, let's get into safety. Alright.
Nice.
Go rescue your keeper. Go rescue your keeper. Uh-oh.
Oof. Oh, Triptoids too?
How did the Triptoids get into this? And the putties.
Yep. You got all three now.
Comply this.
I wonder why Ryjack never used Triptoids. He was using the Vivix and the putties. I'll be interested to see if the Triptoids end up being only Sentai footage. Oof. Hey, Snide. Or pseudo-Snide.
You're coming with us, you old wizard. As you wish.
Yep, the compliance collar works with everyone.
I was not expecting Keeper to be part of all this. I've known for a long time that this team up was coming, but I did not know Keeper was going to be part of it.
We're too late. He's gone.
We get him back.
Oh dear.
Hi, Coda.
Come bearing gifts.
Nice.
Anything involving cigar service is always good.
Yep.
So, it's the wise keeper.
That collar makes a nice team. He's a pussycat.
You must have lots of knowledge about the Rangers.
Oh dear.
Knowledge we can use to defeat them. Not defeat, destroy them. Exactly. Now, tell me all.
They are really leaning into
Very well.
the...
It began with the ancient power.
The CG on Keeper's
That's why I
face.
said the animatronics of his face must have died. Ooh,
These weapons are formidable.
interesting one.
Collected everything we could find. So,
Is that...
why was Keeper after them?
That looks like Fury and Wrench's weapons.
That Zed staff is in bit
Oh,
shape.
nice.
I told you to stay back.
They're demorphed and hanging out.
Causing the explosion.
She was just trying to help.
No,
She was wrong.
you should have waited like you said.
And you shouldn't have put the compliance collar on Keeper.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry about Keeper. But I'm gonna bring him back. I promise.
It's so crazy to see these guys again.
Because our teamwork is unbeatable. Spoken like true Rangers.
We work together. Brush monsters.
Nice. This is really cool.
Charge Rangers were able to create a new Zord, too.
Wow.
After many battles, their team was victorious.
This is a very long period of
The
exposition.
Ranger
Huh?
secrets. We can build something to defeat them. But I must have those energies.
That was... You guys just had a whole history lesson just now.
Yeah. Well, they asked for one, and the compliance collar's on, so they got one.
I'm surprised at, like, their patience with that. They very rarely demonstrate that level of attention span.
Who is it? We're about to find out.
Who's calling? Ooh, Evox.
Ding dong. Evox calling.
I hope you've missed me, Rangers, because I have something you want. Keeper is useless to me, so you can have your friend back if you give me Ryjack's collection of weapons.
No.
It's a deal.
It's a deal. Ooh.
You realize he has the reanimizer, right?
I'll send you the location to meet.
Commander, the weapons. Keeper knows too much. We need to rescue him.
Once we make that trade, we have to get those weapons back.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Keeper's our top priority.
I promise. We'll save Keeper.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'm still amazed out of all of the Dino Charge figures that have been made for the Lightning Collection. Coda's
We got it.
out of these four, Coda's the only one we haven't gotten
This
yet.
is everything. Stay on your guard, guys.
It's crazy to just have him just jump right in.
It's interesting to me that these guys know all the other Rangers well enough to just roll with this and not have to be exposited who these people are
Yeah.
or anything. Because usually during a team up, you've got that shit.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm surprised we didn't get like a proper introduction.
Is that the way Sandra's working?
Might be. I didn't get a good enough look.
I saw something that looked
Like
big and heart-shaped.
Yeah, the if it was a pink halberd, it would have been for Sandra's
Like
weapon.
he's gonna follow through. Order Keeper to come over to your side. Sidarso 2-pack at GameStop. Is that a thing that's actually happening next Uninator, or?
That would be cool if it did. Okay. Yes,
I would
nine.
love a Sidarso 2-pack.
Yeah, dude, you're fighting 9 Rangers right now.
I still think the Peter reveal was one of the coolest parts of any Power Morphicon ever.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. Nice. And apart from, you know, Coda now
He
wearing a
made
wig,
Yoshi so
they
emotional.
still
It was great.
look just like they did, you know, 4 years back.
Did you guys ever see Peter and Yoshi on Wipeout?
Oh yeah, that was great. Gigadrone. Oh, okay.
So they gotta bug out and leave the Dino Rangers to handle this.
Come on, team, let's go.
I mean, there were a lot more of you that time.
I wouldn't count on it, or maybe you forgot. Shelby, Riley, now.
What? Nice.
Why not?
Wow, snide.
Not long enough. Some things just stay nasty.
Oh. Wow.
What?
All 6 of them together for this fight. And well, I knew the 4 guys were going to be in this episode, but I didn't know that we were getting.
We may or may not see these 2 unmorphed.
But we're getting their
That's
voices,
definitely their
at
voices,
least, which
yes.
is nice. Now I don't know if that was recycled or if they got them, or if they were able to.
Oh, I would love to see the Sidarso brothers do Ultimate Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
sure
amazing
if
how
it's
they
on
just
Google
jump
Play,
in.
but I'm pretty sure that the clip of their run, because they made it to the Wipeout Zone, the clip of their run in the Wipeout Zone is probably available on YouTube. And if I recall correctly,
Oh, yeah,
they went
I
into
believe I
that
saw
with
it.
Yoshi injured from a previous...
No, they went into the final round.
That's what I said.
Yes.
I was talking about the Wipeout round.
Yes.
They went to the final round with Yoshi injured from one of the previous challenges.
Yeah. He did a bunch of like hopping around on 1 foot and still made
Oh,
it.
Vax says those are just really good impressions.
Yeah?
They are really good impressions.
Sounded like them. Oh dear. Really? Really?
Get ready to meet Sledge.
It is a bomb! Yes, they're up to the warehouse, Scott. In fact, Sledge just got reanimated.
This is crazy.
And yelled, "It's a bomb!" So we clapped, because that's what he does.
I can't believe it. Really?
The eraser droid?
No, it's a magnet.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the little rubber eraser.
Yeah, I thought so as well, but then I'm like, no, it's the magnet. It's the magnet.
It is great that they keep bringing that bomb thing back.
At this point, they know. They very much know.
Justin's comment. Hang on.
But that was also, but It's a Bomb was
Chicken strips.
also his last words.
I hope your chicken strips are great.
It's a Bomb was also his last words in this universe, because he was in this universe when he was destroyed last.
This is true. Lightning Collection Sledge needs to come with a bomb accessory.
Yeah.
Says Jack.
Very true.
Devin, that Gigadrone is using its magnets to suck Morph-X straight from the tower. Not much longer.
I'm amazed that they get their mileage out of that sledge suit.
Yeah, it is a bit of a bummer. The mayor got pushed to the side so quickly after he stopped being Evox's bodyguard.
Wrecker sword?
Oh no, not just any bomb, but the bomb. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Time for strike.
If Sledge is an action figure in the Lightning Collection, he needs the bomb.
But things are happening fast now.
It's true. Sledge was an American original suit, so why not get all the mileage?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they've got his whole
Told
crew.
you Poisandra's weapon was in there.
Yep,
We destroy you twice.
Twice.
that's true.
Let's not be K-Bad friend.
You leave my hubby alone!
Yeah,
They got the
leave my
whole
hubby
crew
alone.
Trouble keeping up?
This is crazy. I'm very glad that of all the I've seen all of Go Busters twice,
Well,
and I've
got
seen
the control collar
plenty of
on,
other
that's why
stuff
he's
from Go
just
Busters.
standing there.
But the one thing that I didn't watch from Go Busters, to avoid spoiling myself, was the team up.
What
And I'm
did
really
they
glad I
have
didn't.
of Curios? Curio doesn't even have a weapon.
I don't know, pillow. Oof.
You predict the last Beast Morphers reaction will happen in September or October? If that's the rate we're going, you would be correct.
Yeah, we're aiming for October. Probably be pretty close to the 8-year anniversary of the channel when we wrap this up.
Marcus just for Rangers. Shut it, Sledge. We need to get intelligence.
Not so fast.
Watering can?
You mess with the wrong team.
A watering pail.
Oh, is that what they had of Curios? His watering pail? Watering can?
Admirable firing, friends.
Both valid ways of saying it.
I got you!
I'm gonna get the compliance
That was a little
collar.
bit of an awkward composite of the jump.
This way.
Hurry, let's get to safety while they're down. Come on, move out.
They got to regroup.
Keep expecting Heckle to show up to deal with Snide.
That would be nice.
I just got it from the chat. It was Athena.
I can't believe they brought back.
Who does very good cosplay.
Yes.
Almost got it.
Chicken strips.
There we go. They got the collar off. But yeah, all of the items that they used to resurrect them would ostensibly have been in the wreckage of the Warrior Dome.
Yep.
Sounds fantastic. What's the matter?
Nothing. We're happy to have you back.
That's Ryan Carter, the actor who played.
Yes.
I'd say this is concert celebration.
That's really cool, Athena.
Might be too early.
I'm a dumb and had to find out if that was who I thought it was.
Keeper, are you sure you don't remember what happened when you were Evox's prisoner? Or what they did with your staff?
I'm afraid I
wonder what they.
no recollection.
What did they do with
Whatever
his
they're up
staff?
to, we can handle it. We're a team.
And you're
Wait,
very
so
smart, very strong.
the compliance collar also
Stay
gives you
longer, but we have to get back to
amnesia?
our team. We have our own responsibility.
Jake has heckle goggles.
Great.
Yeah, he
Yes.
kind of has heckle goggles.
Yep.
Till we meet again, old friend.
Technically, these are,
They were supposed to be. They were more so styled off of Enter, but
Yeah.
these were the goggles used by Praxis in
Hopefully
Grid.
next time.
yeah, the Praxis goggles.
Too right.
Bye, guys.
Farewell, friends. Thank you, Rangers.
It's a shame they didn't get proper introduction.
Dear Nerdy, congratulations on your engagement.
Well, congratulations.
Put the compliance collar. Next time I'll look before I leave.
I understand.
Good lesson.
You were only trying to do the right thing. Now, I have other business to attend to. So long, Power Rangers.
What is he about to do now? He's doing all dusty.
Like he does.
Gained valuable intel from Keeper. We need to stay on guard.
Yep.
Ma'am.
Rajak still hasn't been fully dealt with, have they?
No, they destroyed Ryjack last time.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the previously on Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Wow. That was whew.
I mean, I certainly didn't think about Keeper.
Yeah, being part of the...
Dustin apparently immediately thought of it when they saw the title.
Yeah, it didn't connect to me. And apparently next time we should watch the Halloween special, I believe.
Apparently.
And then we'll get the rest of this crazy team up. Like, what? They didn't like really ease into it or anything. It's just like, boom, Dino Charge is here. Wow.
And the entire Dino Charge villain lineup.
Yeah. Like...
That was intense.
And yeah, this is the first just, like, standard two-team team-up. You're right, since Dino Thunder and SPD.
They were a little hard on Zoe, but she did mess up. But they were heavy-handed with that.
I mean, we had Clash of the Red Rangers, but that was just one Ranger.
Not a Halloween special, just a clip show? But it's a Halloween-based clip show, is it not?
Oh, okay, apparently it's not Halloween-y, but it is a clip show. But it's what they're doing, I guess, instead. It's what would normally be positioned as a Halloween special.
I see.
So I guess they decided they didn't want to do they wanted to take their 2 holiday specials and not use them for the holidays this time around, it seems. Which is fair. You know, we've gotten plenty of them over the last 10 years. But yeah, this is the first time we've had 2 full teams.
Yeah.
Interacting outside of like things like the Legendary Battle, where that was obviously a different context.
That was dozens of full teams.
So it's been it's crazy how long it's been.
Yeah.
It's been 15 years.
It's been 1 week. No.
It's been a long time.
We're close to full teams. I mean,
and
it was the full standard team. I know they didn't have
they didn't have Kendall. Or Philip or Zenowing.
But they did tend to pop in and out, those ones.
Yeah.
Everybody,
or James.
The standard, folks all were there. We're not doing Halloween this year anyway. I mean, there will be a holiday. We just probably won't be trick-or-treating.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this is the first time that we've ever gotten a two-team team-up where it was 2 non-consecutive teams.
That's true.
And that is... I mean, that makes sense within the context of the Sentai footage,
because they were
where they were consecutive in the Sentai, but yeah, this is just kind of looping things around in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
And it really also, but it still ties together well with how Super Ninja Steel ended, because Super Ninja Steel ended with the destruction of Sledge and his crew.
It's a bomb. I love the idea of Ranger History class, says the Bleach. Yeah, that's kind of cool, because it really saved them from having way too much exposition.
Now, that being said, I am a little surprised that they didn't do a reintroduction to the characters, because that's pretty standard fare for a team-up, and I wouldn't expect most kids
like what you put comics in?
to really know. I assume he's referring to Linkara's long box specials. Yeah, even when we have consecutive teams teaming up, we usually have a proper... Oh, some... Because I just mentioned it, I think they had forgotten it. But usually we get a reintroduction to the team, even if it was just the last year. And in this case, it's been over 3 years.
Yeah, it has. I love how they're managing to get so many of the cast members back.
Yeah. I mean, it was only 4 out of the well, technically it was only 40% of the team, but even so.
Yeah, but we had Dr. K a little while ago too.
That's true, and Keeper coming back was unexpected, I will admit. Even if the animatronics have clearly died on his head, and so they have to rely more on CG than before, and it's weird.
It's weird.
But
I think he always blinked with CG.
He did. But he didn't. I don't
mouth
think
with
he
CG.
spoke with CG before though.
He's always blinked with CG though, which has always been weird.
But yeah, it's whew. But yeah, I would have liked a little bit more of a proper reintroduction to the characters, but they crammed a lot of stuff into this episode.
Is there an actor we'd like to come back that hasn't appeared yet?
I mean, really, and I always like seeing the RPM cast, and although it was great to see Dr. K back in that other previous episode, I would have liked to see.
I'm not sure too many of them are actually still hanging around New Zealand. I know Olivia went back.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, like a
Well,
lot of them
like,
are still in LA.
But like Dylan and Ziggy could be fun. Although
Ziggy's still in LA.
Is he? I thought he was down in New Zealand. He moved to LA?
Olivia and him were both in LA for a while.
Okay.
And then they broke up, and she went back to New Zealand. But I'm pretty sure he's still hanging around LA.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I remember that he was on Ash versus the Evil Dead, and that was filmed in New Zealand.
Was it? No, maybe he went back too at a separate time.
It was just one episode, so
But
I
I
don't
mean,
know. About
Adelaide's
the timing,
got the
et
whole
cetera.
thing going on with playing Mary Queen of Scots.
Well, is that show still going?
I don't know.
I feel like Reign must have ended by now. I could be mistaken.
Let's see. Mike, Jin, Eka, and Rose are the only ones still in LA.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, as far as but yeah, like we did get Gemma back for an episode. It would be nice to see Gem as well. He was great on Hyperforce.
Oh, Adelaide was on Once Upon a Time too?
Yeah, I think she was a stepsister.
Hmm.
I did not keep up with Once Upon a Time past a certain point. I watched the first several seasons, but I drifted away after a while. But yeah, the one thing I will note is that although it does actually make a lot of sense for Sledge and his crew, for their weapons to have all been found from the wreckage of the Warrior Dome, which
iZombie
is
is
my
over.
presumption.
I loved iZombie.
I still need to see the final
I
season.
haven't seen the final season either,
Yeah.
but it is over.
But I'm curious where he got the snide
And Eka
sword
was doing
Jessica Jones, but that
that's
ended
also
as well.
over.
The same thing I believe with Empire. But yeah, I'm curious where Ryjack got Snide's sword from.
Yes, there was. Rose definitely had a little fun with that one episode.
Yes.
When she
yes.
got to be snarky about Power Rangers, like she wasn't in it.
But back to the show itself, Snide.
That's the
Snide
one I would have liked to have seen.
Was destroyed in the other universe. Yeah, Athena's backing me up on this. So how did his sword end up there? All the others, we know they were on the Warrior Dome, but not Snide. So the question is, how did his sword end up? How
I
did
don't
Ryjack
know, but
get
while
his
they're
sword?
talking about actors we wish would have come back, it would have been nice for Heckle to come back, especially
Yeah.
if he could have made like a cameo as Dark Ranger.
Yeah.
To help fight Snide, that would have been cool.
Yeah, if we could actually
while we're
get...
making wish lists and people are
If
asking...
we could get the Dark Ranger suit, that would have been amazing.
Yeah. This all started because someone asked who we'd like to have seen come back.
Yeah.
And it's like, if we're making wish lists, Heckle as Dark Ranger making an on-screen appearance, that would be cool.
Maybe get some John Toohey in there with Doggy. That'd be cool. I know that Greg Aronowitz still has the doggy head. I don't know if it's really in condition to be used anymore, but
That's fair.
that'd be.
I mean, if anyone could get it in condition, it would be Greg Aronowitz.
Yes.
He built Icinia
I would
like a week
love
in
to
his
see Greg
garage
get back
because
with
they
the
wouldn't
show.
give him a budget.
I don't know what's going to happen with the show in the next couple years, but it would be great to see.
Y'all
Greg get
ever
back with
look
the
at
show.
anything, the Barnyard FX, Instagram, Twitter, or
Yeah, he does a lot of cool
YouTube?
stuff.
Y'all should check that out because Greg Aronowitz has done a lot more than just SPD, and it's amazing stuff.
He's just great.
Dude did a bunch of the
I love
miniatures for AI, the Steven Spielberg movie.
Yes,
And,
Memoirs of a Geisha, I believe, as
yup.
well.
And most of the props for Minecon.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he does a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, and all of the props for the music video to Felicia Day's Guild music video, Do You Want to Date My Avatar?
I've said plenty of times, I think, before, that I would love to see a Q Ranger adaptation headed by Greg and Jackie. I think that would be amazing. Yeah, so I'm curious about where Ryjack got some of his gear. Specifically Snide's sword, because it was from another dimension.
I mean, dimension hopping's been going on here, though.
Zed's staff and Goldar's sword, I guess, are somewhat fair game. Simply because Zed's staff clearly... It might not technically be Zed's staff. It could be Thrax's staff, technically speaking, because Thrax had the same staff, and Zed's staff was vaporized in Countdown to Destruction.
Well, to put it, the prop definitely looked slightly different than the prop that you interacted with that one time at the office.
Oh no, I think it's the same one.
That one had duct tape holding it together.
Could be the way they were holding it. I'd have to take another look to be sure.
Pretty sure that one was intact. Either that or they did a really good repair job.
They may have just, repaired it for the screen. But I believe it's the original. That one seems to make the rounds.
Black market auction on Onyx.
Um,
Reaction 2 weeks and on Sunday as well. We'll steer clear of the DC Fandom event.
oh, that's a big thing?
There might be a big live stream Saturday after next as well that we might not want to conflict with.
We'll keep an eye on that, because we have other things.
We have other things we usually do on Sunday, but...
that Sunday in particular is an important day.
Oh, yeah. It actually, 2 Sundays... Yeah.
We're coming up on our 5-year wedding anniversary. So we probably won't be streaming that day.
Together, as much as we love you guys.
We don't know what we'll be doing for our anniversary yet, but
probably getting some really good takeout.
Probably.
Because we can't go to a restaurant because COVID. But there are we have been doing a pretty good job in upstate New York. Yeah. We're not in the city, so anywhere that's not the city of New York has been doing a pretty good job. And so most of the places that have good food are doing curbside pickup.
Oh yeah. But yes, it is a little hard to believe that we,
sushi and wine? I wish. No.
But,
5 years? Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, it's crazy that, because we weren't even engaged yet when we started this channel. It's weird to look back on that.
No, we got engaged years after we started this channel, didn't we?
It was about a year and a half.
Year and a half? Okay.
After we finished year 1.
Because we were together for 8 years before you proposed?
Yes, I proposed on our 8-year anniversary of being together. But
at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, it was really cool at the time. I wasn't angry at J.K. Rowling at the time.
That's true.
In front of the mirror of Erised.
It's true.
Shows your greatest desire.
Well, and
yes,
they were saying...
Rotisserie, there is a proposal video.
Yeah.
The audio is terrible on it, though, because we were inside the ride queue of the Harry Potter ride.
It's an old Jake Says Hi video from 2014. So it's a while ago.
She did write some okay books.
Yeah.
But I'm still angry at her behavior lately.
It's been highly inappropriate.
Remember, my pronouns are they, them.
That's true. But yeah, that was basically right after I finished year 1 of Power Reviews, at the 52 episode mark.
Yes.
Which is hard to believe that we hit that so quickly.
The butterbeer was amazing.
Oh yeah, that was delicious. After the 52 episode mark, I took a little break because we wanted to go on a vacation for our 8-year anniversary of dating. And,
I must have been the only person who did not realize that was going to be a proposal.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like my parents were in on it. Like, everybody was freaking
Well, I talked to your parents, and I told my parents. But that was about it. And then I resumed year 2, and then I kicked off year 2 after we returned. But yeah, it was because
And I still love the ring. It's topaz.
London blue topaz.
Science topaz.
Yes.
This color of topaz does not occur naturally. It has to be irradiated, and then they have to, like, let it get unirradiated. So it takes a long time to make them.
Whew. So yeah, this whole sort of team up arc, to get back to the episode at hand.
Yeah.
Since
This
that is what
has
you
been
guys are technically here for.
Really cool team up arc.
It's been a really interesting ramp up. Because the show has never really done anything in this way before.
We've only got 9 episodes left, the chat says.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all that's left to Beast
Yeah,
Morphers.
we'll definitely be done in October.
Because this is episode 35.
Yes, Mr. Elman, topaz.
Yep.
It's a London blue topaz. Starts with a regular blue topaz, and then it's irradiated for a while. Makes it a deeper, darker blue.
But just the fact that we that this whole half of the season,
it's been, as Dustin is calling it, a serialized crossover.
it really has been, because we
And I love
started
it.
off with this really initiated with the cameo by Dr. K introducing the Ranger Vault, which is still a weird thing, but okay.
It is, but it allows them to keep doing this awesomeness, so I will
Yeah.
roll with the Ranger
And then
Vault.
the Ranger Vault queued up the introduction of Ryjack and Chaku and that whole two-parter, which is now set up.
And as Rotisserie says, the team-ups are not usually this well integrated into the main plot.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic.
Like, I do still kind of wish that there was a little bit more time spent properly introducing the reintroducing the characters, because it's a young audience and they may not know who these characters are,
It's true.
because it has been several years. You know, Dino Charge did end back in 2016.
The
So
last time it
that's
felt like this
been a
was
while.
way back in Lost Galaxy with the Psycho Rangers.
Yeah. But, you know, even with the Psycho Rangers, you know, we had sort of a lead into, this is who they are, you know, these are who the Rangers are. So I would have liked a little bit, just a touch more of, you know, of reestablishing their characters and who they are now.
Yes,
if anything has
Chase
changed.
had lines. I don't remember what he said, but I remember going, oh, there's that Kiwi accent again.
He basically, like, said, good to see you, goodbye, at the end.
No, he said something when they were walking into the warehouse.
Okay.
When they were unmorphed.
Yes.
It was like, something like, oh, this way, or something like that.
Yeah.
It was boring and not plot relevant, but it was like, oh, there's that Kiwi accent again.
It was very action driven. I would have liked to see a little bit more focus on the characters. Maybe a little bit less focus on Keeper, just because Keeper is so awkward.
Lost Galaxy was an almost
But it was
indirect
still
sequel
a pleasant
to Space
surprise
to
to
start
have Keepers. So
and that's true.
oh yeah, Lost Galaxy is a
Indirect
pseudo sequel.
Here Nerdy proposed at the Ward barbecue.
Oh, nice.
Our friend who has gotten engaged just
Congratulations again on your engagement.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they
no.
follow up on this.
Cheetah Nick's voice artist is dead.
Oh yeah, he passed away a little while ago. Which was
Keeper is
unfortunate.
creepy, especially CG Mouth Creeper. Keeper.
Keeper the Creeper.
I'm calling him Creeper.
But I do love that "It's a Bomb" is just still just such an iconic line for Sledge. He's such a Looney Tune of a character. He really is.
Yes, he is. How long does the production process on each DRPR episode take? Depends on the episode.
Depends heavily on the episode.
Back in the day, they turned around a lot faster.
I'll put it this way. Robo Night Before Christmas, episode 52, I did that one in a weekend. Episode 79 and 80 took me about 2 years. So it varies considerably. Somewhere between 2 days and 2 years.
And not just depending on how often he works on it either. you look at the special effects in the ones he's referring to versus the ones from the past.
Yes.
It takes a while for our home computer to chug out that much CG.
That's true. Oh yeah, like episode 80 took so much render time. Episode 89 actually went surprisingly smoothly as far as render time goes. I'm glad that that despite the fact that it was heavily CG in the backgrounds, 89 didn't kill my computer. I was worried that it would. I had to render out a lot of stuff.
You think my router's old?
I'm glad that I kind of simplified.
I mean, you have upgraded your desktop
effects down a
several
little bit.
times because it's a desktop and you can
Oh
upgrade
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But it's been around for a while, and I don't think you've ever upgraded the chipset or the motherboard. So some parts of it are still pretty old.
I'll put it this way. Right now, at this stage, my goal...
You're introducing her to the channel. Is she there now? Your Nerdy's fiance? Are you there?
Oh,
Hello.
My goal for the series is to hit the final episode by the 10-year anniversary of the first episode. I don't know if that's going to end up being possible, but I really want that to happen.
Fiance.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Hello, future Mrs. Nerdy.
We don't know if we're gonna make it, but we're gonna try.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I have laid out a timeline for myself with regards to the rest of the episodes. I'll probably be releasing a Jake Says Hi about my plans
Dr.
for
K and
the
Mayo
release
on the
schedule.
same screen is actually less work than the backgrounds in 89.
I want to see how things are going with 90 across the course of this next week or so. I need to talk to a few actors.
We need a few pickup shots that are solo shots, so we're kind of hoping we might be able to get them even though it's the COVID times, because it would be just themselves and nobody else would have to be near them. We could shoot them from 6 feet away.
If I'm... Okay, so right now I'm trying to get together with at least one of my actors. And if I can film with them, then I should be good on footage up through episode 94. Which would be great, and then I can just focus on that and then film the rest of the series next summer when
the COVID times are hopefully behind us.
Hopefully that is, has concluded. So I am going to aim for trying to finish filming up through episode 94 with my actors. There'll be additional stuff for me, but with my actors by the end of this month. And then next summer,
and that's because up
film the rest
to
of the
94
series.
we only have a few pickup shots, and all those pickup shots are solo shots.
Yeah.
We wouldn't risk anybody's health.
It's really like 2 actors.
2 actors, each have a couple of close-ups.
One of which I might be able to just kind of cheat it a little bit.
I mean, one of which you might be able to be like, hey, could you stand in front of a solid-colored curtain at your house and send me a little footage?
Stuff like that. So I'm playing with that.
Yes, and we're in New York, upstate, so yes, we have been dealing well enough with it that we feel like hopefully we might be able to get the actors, because we can film them from 6 feet away and try and be safe.
But hopefully within the next week or so, I should be able to
I don't know.
be confident in terms of when 90
I know you've asked
may
that
be
a
coming
couple
out,
of times,
so I gotta work on
but
that.
I don't know the answer to that question. Jake, what about you?
Do you believe that these crossover episodes are close to Marvel quality? Well, I mean, Marvel is a different game. It's all right. I'll put it this way. This
maybe Marvel TV show.
This crossover isn't done yet, so it's going to be
like when Luke Cage
hard
shows
to
up on
gauge.
Jessica Jones.
That was fun.
But I'm saying maybe that level of crossover.
But I mean, it's hard to compare that because so much about the production and the writing and the tone of those sorts of like the MCU stuff is very different from Power Rangers in terms of capabilities and what they're aiming for. So it'd be really hard to compare. Obviously,
Why do you keep asking what our favorite Ben and Betty were this episode? Ben and Betty weren't in this episode.
I think that's why he was asking. We didn't have Ben and Betty in this episode. That was surprising.
Tokime
I
Sentai
guess they really had
Go-Busters'
to
10th anniversary
double
is
down.
on Saturday.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, and
Well, Saturday.
congratulations, Lena.
That'll be
I
Saturday
already said
of
in the chat 'cause he was
2022.
talking, but congratulations. Now that I can get a word in edgewise.
Yes.
That was from me. I've got the
Okay.
chat.
Okay. But yeah, if everything goes according to plan, then hopefully the final episode of Power Reviews will be able to be out by the by the end of 2022. Is my hope.
Speaking of Marvel, I hope we get something from the MCU this year.
Yeah. Who needs Ben and Betty when you have Sledge and Cassandra? Fair.
I mean, it would be cool to have something from the MCU this year, but also if we did, it would probably be like direct to Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Black Widow is the only thing we're likely to
Because
see
they'll
this
probably
year.
do the same thing to it they did to Mulan.
Yeah.
If we actually got anything this year, because I don't think it's going to release in theaters.
I don't think so either. Everything's very strange this year as far as how it's released. It's fortunate that Power Rangers gets so much stuff taken care of ahead of everyone else. I don't know what we're going to be seeing as far as casting information for Dino Fury. Usually we'd be getting that information sometime, around this month, but that would normally be through Power Morphicon, so we'll see what happens on that front. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what ends up happening with Dino Fury. Just because we don't know if it's going to be one season or two, we don't know casting information, we don't know a lot of elements of it. And we really don't know what comes next after that. That's a big question because of the whole the whole rumor that the Toei relationship is ending, which again hasn't been confirmed, but it has also not yet been debunked either. Which episode to start off with on Power Reviews? Yeah, either episode 1 or episode 20, because there's stuff from the first 20 episodes of Power Reviews that is a lot of foreshadowing and character development for the two main characters, as well as sort of introduces you to all the characters. Episode 20 is when you get to first see all the characters together and the show starts to
hit its stride a little bit.
And then it starts to really shake up after about another 12 episodes. And then...
it gets weird.
And then just, it's really just a ride from there on out.
Yeah, basically, 1 through 19 are cool and probably should be watched, but if you're looking for a faster start, 20.
Yes.
After that, you really can't miss any episodes, or you're going to be lost.
There's a lot of plot, especially once you get into, like, the 30s.
Yes. And that's, oh, by the way, that's Pure Nerdy's fiance.
Nice.
Who's asking where to start watching.
Yes. And at this point now, Power Reviews is obviously very serialized. Year 3 is just... I feel so bad that it's so much more serialized and so much more dependent upon knowledge of the previous episodes, but also so much more spread out than before. Like, it took us... At this point, I've been working on Year 3 longer than it took me to release Year 2. And we're not even at the halfway point yet.
No, we're not.
I'm hoping to get to the halfway point soon. Episode 90
I know.
is coming along well.
New Zealand has us beat so hard.
That's true. They've gone 100 days without transmission locally, which is amazing.
And I mean that's great for Power Rangers because that means that since they got the cast into the country, they will be able to film.
Right.
Because there's no COVID there.
I don't think we'll be I don't know if we'll... It's really up to Hasbro if they decide to do an event introducing the cast.
If they did decide to do an event...
It'd be cool if they do.
Oh, you know what? That's
Yeah,
my flux. Whoopsies.
Yeah.
If they did decide to do an event, it'll probably be similar to some of the cons that have been happening
digital
over
event.
live stream.
Yeah. So hopefully Hasbro does a digital event, but I have no insight into that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So don't forget that, again, next week we'll do Sunday as well.
Next week will also be Sunday because Jake has a conflict on Saturday.
So I'm going to keep working hard on episode 90. 90 is coming along quite well. I will say at the very least that unlike with 89, 90 should not take a year to release. Um,
90 is one of the ones that relies on some pickup shots, though, right?
yeah, not knocking on wood, unless something bad happens. Hopefully not.
We won't forget the last 3 statements, Sheree.
Thank you for the reminder. But yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed 89 last week. I know most of you, saw it already last week.
Sorry about your internet, Dustin.
As
Ours
you've
was terrible yesterday. That's why we're here today.
As you've seen, every episode I try to step it up. I felt really proud about the visuals for 89. I felt like it was probably the best looking Power Reviews episode I've done.
Power
in terms
Rangers
of visual
this week's
effects.
Fan First Friday?
Ooh. I'd forgotten about that. I must have not been following social media closely enough.
What's Fan First Friday?
I will have to take a look at what that is, because I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out what that is.
I must have missed that.
I'm
Partially
so outside
because I
of the,
spent all yesterday trying to fix the internet.
Unsuccessful, but that's not your fault. The hardware was down. There was no way you could have without a replacement.
Okay, Hasbro's toy reveal live stream? Okay.
Oh.
So we'll have to take a look at that.
Maybe you'll see some of the new Lightning figures.
Okay. Oh, they cycle through brands, so this week will be Power Rangers. Okay, cool. I'll definitely have to check that out. I've always been more about the lore of the show than I am about following the merchandising super closely.
But you do like the Lightning collection.
I do like the Lightning collection. I only have, a handful of pieces, but compared to some others. But it is just crazy how they keep pumping those out. So much. Oh, starting with 37? Okay. Yeah, that would be Legacy of Power. Yeah, sure, go for it. It is right in the middle of an arc.
So you may have to do a little bit of, okay, so this is why this is happening.
Yeah. It is a little bit of a transition in the arc, but, so, yeah, it's leading into
It's definitely jumping
major,
into midstream.
You're definitely jumping in midstream, but it is.
But you know what?
It is it's mostly just a framing device at that point before it's fully integrated into the reviews. Obviously, in more recent episodes, the reviews are just so fully integrated into the story. There's no real oh, okay, this bit at the beginning, this bit at the end, but I'm just focusing on the review stuff, like what Linkaro does. Which again, Linkaro's.
Exactly, Pure.
Was a big inspiration, but obviously I went a different direction.
Pure Nerdy's going to, explain anything that needs to be explained.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of having somebody to watch it with.
Has your fiance seen Power Rangers RPM? Because that'll probably impact how much she's able to follow with regards to references to RPM, which are obviously, for those of you who follow Power Reviews,
to RPM.
It's a major part of
Dr. K
the show.
Is in the cast.
Yes. But I do recognize that it is starting to run late.
Ooh, yes it is. Now I'm starting to yawn just as you say that.
Yeah, Linkar's History of the Power Rangers and Atop the Fourth Wall were really what inspired Power Reviews to
in so many ways.
Become a show. Okay, so she may be a little out of the loop on what's going to be happening either way. If you ever get a chance, definitely.
Maybe even if you just show an
episode 37 definitely works as just showing what the nature of the show is, but you may need to go back to earlier episodes afterwards to get the full context of the story. Because I do review some important episodes of RPM that give important context, but that's
May the power protect you as well, Devious.
Devious. Yes.
I'm stuttering.
Because it's getting late and we should be getting some rest. So
I have techno babble tomorrow.
Yes, we're doing some. Speaking of Dr. K, we are doing some filming for Dr. K.
Gotta get this off my fingers.
Yes. Yeah, we're actually going to be filming some stuff from episode 95 tomorrow and knocking that stuff out. So that'll be nice.
Maybe.
Like, we're filming all these episodes,
I don't
like,
wanna do Taco
so much time in
Bell.
advance. It's crazy. So, before we go,
John.
though, let's do our
We got
three
closing
closing
statements.
non-controversial statements. So, say it with me, chat. Number 1.
Love is love.
Number 2. Trans rights are human rights.
J.K.
And number 3. Robots are cool. All 3 equally non-controversial. Or at least they should be considered as such. Thank you very much for joining us on that. And thank you very much for joining us tonight. We really look forward to seeing you all again next week.
Chris.
And I'm hoping that
Night, Spencer.
I'm hoping that between now and then I should be able to have some more news for you guys.
Wear a
keeping my
dang
fingers-
mask. Yes.
Keeping my fingers crossed, I'll have some more news
As
for you
Vex
guys.
Taylor
And
Claus
yes,
said,
wear your
when
mask.
you're going out in public, wear a mask. When you're going out in public, wear a mask. If you care about your neighbor and don't want a ventilator, when you're going out in public, wear a mask.
There we go. So thank you all again. Have a great night, and until next Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday. Farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. It's a callback.